Alrighty, hey YouTube, what's going on? This is iTalk here, and in today's video, we have a brand new video. So today we're going to be talking about Season 3, Chapter 5, Season 3, and we're going to talk about it today because I like to think that this is probably the most toxic season that we've ever had in Fortnite. I feel as though that this reminds me a lot of Chapter 1, Season X. When we had the mechs, the entire community just hated them, right? Like maybe a few casuals enjoyed it. People low-key did enjoy it a little bit. There's gonna be someone that likes the mechs, okay? But mostly universally, everyone hated them and they had to deal with them and they had to nerf them down to the ground and all that. Now we're in this situation where the cars are overpowered. In a weird twist of fate, it seems like the casual community is totally on board with these cars being as overpowered as they are. There seems to be a war going on between the casuals and the competitive players. It's always been like this, but it's really been amplified to a new sort of high because people are just trying to enjoy the game, and you're having competitive players say, oh, you can't even do anything about the cars, you can't counter them or anything like that, which it's not competitive. Like, I'm sorry to say it, and I'm someone that's kind of like in the middle, even though I'm more of a casual player for sure. I don't think the competitive players are at fault for thinking that the cars are overpowered. There's so much commotion about this online, and it's just so frustrating. Like, everyone's at each other's throats. Like, either you think the cars are fun or you think they're overpowered. You know, you're in the comp scene or you're in the casual scene, and it's just so annoying to see both sides of the triangle fight about all this. It's not something I enjoy looking at when I'm going on Twitter. I don't enjoy seeing it. So what ends up happening, right, is that it turns out that Fortnite also agrees that the cars are overpowered, as I think that made total sense. They were very overpowered for what they are. So what ended up happening? They got nerfed pretty heavily, and they also introduced some counters. They said on Twitter, they said, we unvaulted boogie bombs as well as made some balance adjustments to some features. Reduced machine gun turrets accuracy and grenade launcher turret damage to structures. Reduced vehicle health in solos. Boss cars do not automatically regen health anymore. Boosted damage dealt to vehicles from boom bolts. Increased nitro gauntlets recharge time, and reduced nitro shoulder bash damage to players. They thought that the stuff was overpowered. It's not that like, oh, competitive people complained so they reacted to it. No, they even agreed and said that, yeah, these things were overpowered. And like, as simple as like Cypher PK saying, I knew you would deliver, it gets scrutinized because like, oh, how dare you? You said that they were overpowered. They only listen to the streamers. They only listen to the competitive players. Wow, wow, wow. You guys are ruining the season. He responded, he basically said, Fortnite released the season. I'm happy, I'm having fun. Getting hate for liking the season. They make some balance changes. I'm happy and having fun. Getting hate for liking the balance patch. Crybabies on both sides. Just play the game or don't. Literally, best way to describe it. If you don't enjoy the cars, do not play the season. If they see that their player numbers are even lower than they were expecting, they will make changes to it to then update the game and make it so the thing that you do not enjoy will most likely get addressed. And it did. And now casuals are upset. Oh, competitive players ruin another perfectly good season. You can't win. You literally can't win. My biggest takeaway with this whole season, right, is the fact that Fortnite is so bad at balancing the game for competitive side of things. They knew that this was gonna happen. They had to have known that people were gonna complain about this. Why on earth is the competitive version of Fortnite not balanced for competitive, and it's just casual play but with ranks? There are some differences, yes, but it's not enough to actually make it balanced and somewhat competitive. Fortnite to me is barely a competitive game because of what they introduce to the seasons all the time. They make it so there's so much casual stuff that just make it so easy to use, and it's just so funny. Like, it's Fortnite's fault that they cannot make a good competitive version of Fortnite. They do make it so there's certain things that aren't in competitive that are in casual, but my lord, do they clearly not understand that, like, competitive should barely get touched, right? Like, obviously new POIs, that doesn't really affect competitive, but like new sort of weapons do, especially ones that if they spawn too much or if they do too much damage or if they're too easy to use. If the skill ceiling for weapons become too low, the game becomes less competitive. The cars, honestly, I don't even know if the cars should even be in competitive at all at this point, considering how good they are. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know. No one wins in the situation. Casuals aren't happy because they nerf the stuff. Competitive players aren't happy because they just want to have a competitive experience with Fortnite, and they can't get that because there's no way to play the game competitively unless all the stuff that makes the game you know, too easy for casuals, then it's just not fun for competitive players. And I see it from both sides. I don't think casual players are in the right for making fun of competitive players. I don't think competitive players are in the right for calling out casual players. I think both sides are wrong, but both sides are also correct at the same time. Just play the game if you want to. If you don't enjoy it, do not play the game. Seriously. And I know it's some people's jobs, like for competitive players, they kind of have to deal with it. I understand it from that sense, but still, like, if you don't enjoy something, why are you forcing yourself to do it? And I understand when there's DreamHack coming up, so obviously competitive players can't just drop the game and everything. And the thing is that when they say like, oh, how am I supposed to, you know, combat this? And I watch the clip, I'm like, yeah, how are they supposed to combat it? And everyone in the replies is just like, oh, you got to adapt, bro. You got to adapt, bro. Both sides are right. Both sides are wrong. I want everyone to just shut up and have fun with the game and not bully each other, because I've been wanting to say this, but I feel like the quote tweet feature of Twitter is the worst update they ever made to Twitter, because it opens the door for bullying people, right? Like Ninja obviously made a clip that, you know, he was all upset because, like, how was he supposed to counter something in solo, yada, yada, yada. And people were making fun of him for it. And I know they were probably just being lighthearted, but people take that stuff seriously. People actually are like, yeah, let's, you know, bully this person because they made a stupid clip, or they did. Like, it's just so dumb. I cannot stand social media. I really can't, bro. So yeah, I feel like this season's probably the most toxic season of Fortnite, and Fortnite needs to get better at actually balancing the game for competitive players in the competitive modes. They knew this was going to happen. They had to have known. Someone had to have known that this was going to happen. I'm annoyed with it. I don't know why they don't just address it that way. Whatever. Yeah, this season's toxic. What do you guys think? That's it for the video today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, let me know with a like, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and use code ITALK in the Fortnite item shop if you'd like to support me. #EpicPartner. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all later. See ya.